past the hour, 25 till the next one. Chuck Pfarrer is the former assault element commander of SEAL Team 6. He's written a bestseller. It's already a bestseller. SEAL Target Geronimo, the inside story of the mission to kill Osama bin Laden. Please welcome Mr. Pfarrer to the Irish Morning program. Good morning, Mr. Pfarrer.
Good morning, sir. Glad
How
to
are
be
you?
here.
I'll turn the mic a little bit towards you.
Man, now
so I
it's
can hear you. So
That's scary.
So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just, every day's a bonus day for me.
You look like Stephen King a little bit.
Well, I look like the guy who ate Stephen King.
Oh, you do?
Which doesn't make me a bad person, it's a personal choice.
Well, what is an element assault commander? What is that?
There are subunits within the larger team. It means, you're in charge of a gang of shooters.
What compelled you to?
This is going to be great. My Mount Holyoke girlfriend broke up with me, so I was in training to be a clinical psychologist.
Right.
Pretty beau jest, I walked into the psych office, said, I quit. What are you going to do? Join the SEALs? They said, you're fired anyway.
Yeah.
So
you knew about the SEALs ahead of time? And
my father was a naval officer. He served in Vietnam. He worked in special projects. And, when I joined, it was pre-Discovery Channel. When you asked about the SEAL teams, they said, what do you know about the SEALs?
Yeah.
So I was lucky to get in and lucky to make it through BUD/S.
Why is SEAL Team 6 more elite than the other SEAL teams? There's about 12 teams, right?
Yeah, there are. It's as an organization, we're smaller than Hell's Angels.
Right.
In order to get to 6 to DevGru, you need probably 5 to 10 years of exemplary service before you're even invited to try out. So it is. The nickname is Team Jedi, and these guys are absolutely the best of the best.
How much of it is physical? How much of it is?
Any team guy would tell you that it's mental.
What is?
You learn in BUD/S that they in basic underwater demolition school, they very quickly push you into a place that hurts, and you're going to stay there. Oh. And so it's a matter of how you deal with it mentally.
So did you know prior to this raid on Osama bin Laden's compound there in Pakistan that it was going to go down?
You know what? I work in instead of teaching English at Brandeis when I'm not writing books, I still work as a trainer for Naval Special Warfare Elements.
You teach English at Brandeis?
No, I don't. Instead of doing that, I can't. I couldn't get a job with a typewriter to save my life.
You're doing a pretty good job right now.
I have monkeys at home that type this for me and send it in.
Anyway,
I helped to train deploying Naval Special Warfare Elements,
right.
And a great deal of what
does that mean?
SEALs going overseas.
Okay. A
great deal of what they do are high-value target, with exactly this kind of operation. In fact, there's one going on right now. This is a mission that they train for and do. It's their specialty.
So did you tell me that you did know or didn't know? I forget.
No, I actually, something I didn't know that the op was going to go down.
Okay.
It was compartmentalized. And
so when it went down, and when it was reported by all of these people yapping in the administration, what did you think?
Well, instantly stuff didn't line up.
What didn't?
Well, I'm hearing the words kill mission, which, in 31 years of being associated with special warfare, that's not something that they write on the board. First thing.
What do they write on the board?
Well, it's this is going to be a high-value target mission and constrained by the rules of war, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But, right away things didn't add up. Okay. So the president came out and made a statement, well and good. He's the commander-in-chief. That was the information. Had it stopped there, it would be terrific.
Sure.
But right after that, information started leaking from every orifice. And it was politicians. And they were telling every little factoid they knew. These things didn't line up. I was trying to determine, well, how is it that a helicopter crashed on insertion and then the next helicopter diverts outside the 20-foot wall and the iron gate? I have a saying in the SEALs, 1 is none, 2 is 1.
What does that mean?
Well, you got one's going to break on you.
Oh.
You got 2 helicopters coming in, 1 goes down. We expect that. Ground fire, thing gets lost, hits a telephone pole. Second helicopter would have landed right on the most important piece of real estate, the roof of his building.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't make any sense to me that the second helicopter would divert. Second fairy tale I'm hearing is a 45-minute engagement. Man, that's the Civil War for us.
That sounded like a long time.
You know what? 45 minutes is a Bruce Willis movie. That's not a SEAL team operation.
Yeah.
And you know what?
As SEAL team operation is what?
Listen.
Seconds, maybe.
Seconds. The business end of this operation was over in about 120 seconds.
Oh.
You know, and I had a lot of trepidation thinking, okay, do I write this book? But by August, these sort of half facts, not corrected by the administration, had turned into this ugly story that was published in the New Yorker of a ground-up assault where these guys blow their way into the building, fight their way up 3 flights of stairs, taking 45 minutes, and then shoot a man and his wife in his bedroom. Okay, that story's allowed to stand. Look, it matters to history, and it matters to the world to know that that's not the way the operation.
Yeah, I was going to ask you why it mattered, but you just said
it does matter. And you know something?
It matters to the SEALs, right?
Well, the brave men who put their lives on the line for this, look, they deserved better. They deserved somebody in the administration to at least give them a little thought.
So you had access to all these guys, obviously.
Well, I'm in the community.
No.
You know, so this isn't something I had to try to crawl my way into.
And were they more than willing to discuss it with you?
Well, you know what? I can tell you that everyone who talked to me did so at their own peril.
Why?
Well, because we don't talk to the press. You know, the other thing is, look, I talk to a lot of people. I talk to people in a lot of different agencies. I had some people that were feeding me fairy tales. You know.
Really?
Well, I'll tell you something.
You don't look like a guy that I would mess with.
I'm
not afraid of anybody.
You have not met my wonderful Canadian wife who messes with me like big time. Come here, donkey. She calls me, actually.
Wow.
But you know what? So you get a story. Now, I want you to just sort of consider this. The CIA claims they have a guy on the operation. As far as I can tell, they do. He's an interpreter. He has an effect on the mission from the outset because he can't fast rope. He can't descend the ropes, which necessitates movement. Things have to happen for him. A story starts getting put around that as the assault's going on, explosions, hovering helicopters, gunshots, supposedly Pakistani civilians surround the area demanding to know what's going on.
Yeah,
and he says, everything's okay, these aren't the droids you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, does any of this sound true to you?
No.
No, it didn't sound, you know what?
It doesn't make common sense.
It doesn't make common sense.
Well, tell me what did happen.
Well, it took about as long as I'm telling you. 2 stealth helicopters make the approach. 1 gets into a position to cover. Razor 1 lands on the roof. Guys jump out, roll onto the terrace. They're in the building. They're surging down a hallway. Osama bin Laden's son comes up the stairs. He is engaged. Door pops open.
What does engaged mean, shot?
Yes.
Okay.
And door pops open. Horseface sticks his face out, slams the door. They call Geronimo, which means eyes on. They set up on the door. As long as I'm telling you, I'm in. Bang. Kick the door in. He shoves a maul in the direction of the assaulters. He's diving across the bed to get his weapon. 4 shots. 1 fired into the mattress. Another one fired at his head. Now think of where the ballistics are. Here's his head. It grazes her in the leg. All lining up. She's between him and the shooters. Yeah. Next 2 bullets find their way home. Bang, bang, and it's over. Okay, what's that? 90 seconds?
Yeah.
It's over.
Now, this story we heard about the wife as a shield, any of that true? Or?
You know what? As far as I can tell, it is true.
Oh.
I think, another thing that they did is they took time to correct things they thought, adjust, things they thought were inflammatory, but they didn't take time to, so, you know what, when this operation was finished, it was time to take a deep breath and say, we can announce this whenever we want to. We don't have to announce it today. Let's take a week. Let's go through the intelligence. Let's get everybody's phone number. But there isn't a politician in the world who could resist taking the victory lap for this.
That's what I was going to ask you, if they, with the benefit of waiting for the announcement, that was part of your criticism, of course.
Well, you know what? Even if it was a political consideration, then I would have announced it in October.
So there was no actual order. You said earlier in our conversation that there was no actual order to kill Osama bin Laden. That wasn't written on a blackboard, a kill mission.
Absolutely not. The
right.
HVI operations, in the majority of cases, we capture the guy.
So that's what they wanted to do, right?
Absolutely.
So when they engaged his son, they shot him, right? Why did they shoot him?
He was in a threat posture.
Oh, okay.
He was in a threat posture. You know what? Because I'll point out, look, there were as many as 20 non-combatants in that place.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's a, quote, kill mission, which, by the way, you know, I'd love to go to the briefing where some cat told me this is a kill mission.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'd say, hey, why don't you call Eric Holder first? Besides, you know, the United States Navy, that's an unlawful order. And I am bound to refuse that.
Yeah, it didn't, you know, but everybody was so ecstatic because he was such a symbol of Osama bin Laden.
But, you know, the men who carried out this mission deserved better. They deserved better.
Well, thanks to you, they're going to get better. So.
Well, I listen. It's the biggest part of my life, to service in the community. I wouldn't do anything to hurt those guys. Look, I mean, they are my family and my life. And you know what? And listen, not every SEAL that I know wanted me to do this book. You know. And it's, you know what,
why didn't they want you to do it?
Well, you know what, it's sort of, now I'm out in the public eye, and believe me, I'm going to get clobbered for this. You know, and it's...
By who?
Well, by everyone who tried to tell a story that wasn't the truth. They got to stick to it now. They can't say, well, Chuck's got it right. But here's the other thing. Look, take the longer view. The truth is going to come out. It may be 5 years. It may be next year. It may be in the next administration.
Oh.
I'm not going to have to change my story. You know, so those who, you know, some guys got to jump on me because it's their job.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know.
Well, we got Veterans Day coming up, so thank you for your service to this country.
I had a good time doing it. Thank you.
And I bet a lot of these guys thank you as well. So.
Well, thanks.
It's a bestseller. Seal Target Geronimo. Chuck Pfarrer, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Pfarrer, but you know, and I'm so used to, when I order a pizza, it's Smith.
It's Pfarrer?
Yeah, Pfarrer,
okay.
Believe it or not.
Chuck Pfarrer?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You got a bestseller on your hands, and the truth's out there. So.
Thank you, sir.
All right. It's 13 now till the hour here on the Imus Wayne program. Who's coming up, Bernie?
Blonde on Blonde.
Blonde on Blonde. Oh, well, man, they were hysterical this morning. Just a second. I've got about a minute. What are your thoughts on what's going on in Afghanistan now?
No one since Alexander the Great has ever captured Afghanistan. And they're eventually going to be left alone to their own devices. And if they want democracy, you know, they've never been radicals, really. Their form of Islam has been moderate. They're going to go their own way, as they have done for 2,500 years.
The quicker we get out of it, the fewer dead Americans we have.
I agree.
And fewer dead Afghanistan.
You know, I've got friends that have 7 combat action ribbons. 10 years of combat, it's enough.
That is. All right, man, thank you. Chuck Pfarrer here in the Imus Wayne program. Seal Target Geronimo, you can buy it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Probably an e-book, so read it on your Nook. 12 minutes down till the hour.
Imus in the morning.
Balmoral has